Just a few seconds over.
Yes.
I tell
Good
you what,
evening, folks.
I am so tired today.
I'm okay, but Rocky is going to be rather quiet tonight, folks.
Yes.
He's been a poorly boy today. He's been a bit Tom Dick. He's okay. If you wonder, he's okay. He's still being nosy. Yeah, he's still there. But he's feeling sorry for himself today.
Yeah. Rocky, you is not Italian.
Yes.
Evening, Mick.
What actually happened? I was doing some pasta yesterday, and
you were cack-handed.
No, my fingers just went all silly, and some dropped on the floor.
If it's on the floor, it's mine, says Rocky.
Yes, and he'd not long had his tea, so he's had a overload of the carbs done him, and he's not. He was a bit sick this morning. At least he gets up and goes to the door. I'll give him his due. So yeah, he's all right. I'm not concerned about him at the moment. He's just sleeping it off, which is what we all do anyway. If we've had a bit of Tom Dick. Anyway, enough of Rocky's ailment. So hopefully he's not having no treats tonight. He had a few biscuits, so there's no treats for him tonight. Anyway, hope everyone's well and had a good week. I went to a gig last Friday night, which I'll tell you about.
Was it bikini on or bikini off?
Well, one was bikini off, but there is a reason, and I'll go into that. Yeah, well, it's not a quiet week, but 8 subscribers this week. But we've had 4,732 views, 34 views, so swings and roundabouts, they say. So, what have you been watching? Well, 80, coming in number 3, we've got Demons and Wizards, Perfect Side from the Uriah for 88.
That's good.
I mean, that was a tough one. Well, it's got 9 of my favourite Uriah Heep songs on one album, which is pretty hard to choose. At number 2, the little anniversary video I did on picking a song off every Status Quo album, and that was 136.
Yeah, you had me going because I thought you were going to do deep cuts.
Yeah, they are. They are deep cuts.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought you were going to do one album, deep cuts.
No, I did a track off every album. And top of the pile, and it always is top of the pile when we put one out, it's for the UK albums that only spent number 1 at 1 week in the chart with Richard, 141. Top short, and I'm chuffed for this. I actually pulled out a Marillion album. It wasn't a fix. I pulled a Marillion album up, and 537 people liked it. One person said they're a boring band. So 28 days, 17,484. 57 new subscribers last 28 days. So we're turning over quite nicely. I mean, mouse is packed in. That's better. It's all right. I mean, it got caught up on the wire. So what have you been watching? Well, in the last 28 days, number 3, when I reviewed the new Blue Oyster Cult album, Ghost Stories, 246. Retro ranking of Linda Ronstadt, 261. I've never thought she'd be that popular, but she must be very, very popular.
She covers an awful lot of generations.
She certainly does. But at number 1 still, A Perfect Side, Fireball, Deep Purple, 335. So since we started, which has now been 3 years.
Yes.
I think today is the actual day the first video went up, 16th of May.
No, 14th.
It was. I know I created it on the 14th.
I've got to go and look now.
So while Dave's looking at that, We've had 346,500 views, and we're now up to 1,688 subscribers. Oh, I forgot to tell you, top short for the month. Breakfast is still
I was going to say
1,077 people have watched that now. Good evening, Seb. I did catch up with what you put. Thank you. And it was lovely to see Scott making comments as well, Seb. Really, I did go and have a look. So going back into things, Derek Riggs is still there on 4,089, but 5 behind him is Jethro Tull. There's still not much between them. Slade's doing well, 4,831. Oh, thank you. Status Quo still at the top on 8,770. So that's how many people have watched it since. I think I put it up on the 16th.
No, I just checked. I've got it down as the 14th.
It is the 14th. So yeah, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, because the next one was 4 days later.
Yes, I think, was it Cozy Powell?
Yes.
Maybe. Oh, got good memory.
And then 8 days after that, you put up 2 videos.
Oh yeah, got a bit daring, didn't I?
Yeah.
The top short said it's
Spider and Terraplane.
Yeah, Spider. What a band. Top short. Jean-Michel Shares Oxygen 2778. So what have I been listening to? Well, I'll go through what we've completed that will be coming up in the next gazillion months. REO Speedwagon, Raven, Bob Marley and the Wailers, and Pow. So I'm getting through the Robin Trower band. I've done 10, so I've got 17 to do. I listened to my first Echo Belly, and it was nice to hear them again. I hadn't heard them for a little while. The rest of them are brand new. Now, I know Simon will be jumping for joy because we've started on Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. 2 or 13. This will be easy for me because I listen to them all the time. Then we got the Almighty. Now, I had a chat with them on Twitter because a certain person that goes on Sea of Tranquility, Mr. Stephen Reed, is a big Almighty fan, and he went to see them. And I said, oh, excellent to see them still going. I said, I might have to do an album ranking. And he said, I think you should. So that's what that one's in there, all for Stephen Reed. Then we have the Gap Band, which was Vinyl Richie. So we've won a 15, and I think Dave put this one in because Dave's a bit of a fan of John Miles.
Oh, so yes.
Dave's a huge fan of John Miles. So we've listened to one of them. And you know which one I've listened to? Playing It Loud. Especially for one certain track. It gets turned up a little bit more for one track. That does.
And so
that's what I'm listening to. Plus, I'm listening to stuff for the news story. And
don't let the cat out of the bag yet. You'll spoil the hatches.
So so that's what we've been listening to. But I've also been listening to other stuff. I've been listening to a lot of live albums for live on Fridays. The story. I've started to listen to the next book, not the next one. That one's all finished with, but I'm listening to the next one.
Yeah, you're starting the story after the next story.
Yeah, this is it. Anyway, that's enough of me talking a load of old nonsense. So I can get rid of that one. That one can go. So I think it's time for hatches, matches, and dispatches.
Right, because I've got to watch it tonight because I want to keep an eye on the time. Okay.
Yes.
So since last week, in fact, since Wednesday of last week, we've had 9 dispatches. We have 25 hatches today, and we've got 4 matches. So the dispatches, those who have left us. Wednesday of last week, John Barbata American rock drummer with the Turtles, Jefferson Airplane, and Jefferson Starship. Conrad Kelly, a Jamaican-born British reggae drummer with Steel Pulse. On the 9th, Fred Noonan, an Australian alternative rock drummer with 6 Foot Hick. And Dennis Thompson, American rock drummer with MC5. On the 12th, David Sanborn, an American jazz saxophonist. The 13th saw the departure of Christian Escude, or I hope Escuda, not sure which way to do it. He was a French gypsy jazz guitarist. Also, Enrico Musiani, an Italian singer. And 2 days ago, on the 14th, Jimmy James, famously Jimmy James and the Vagabonds, lead singer, he passed away. And Melanie Renaud, a Canadian singer, passed away. The Hatches, youngest to oldest, for once, we're starting in the 40s. 41 today is Nancy Ajram, a Lebanese Arab pop singer, and Gordon McCrory. Name ring any bells? We know him better as Mince Fratelli, drummer with the Fratellis. 46 today is David Ford, English singer-songwriter. 47, Emiliana Torini. Now, Icelandic people take the family name as somebody's daughter or somebody's son. Her father was Italian and was forced to take a new name whenever he married an Icelandic woman. Luckily for Emiliana, a recent change in law means that she doesn't have to use the Dolsodottir surname. Also 47 today is Emanuela Tran. Her stage name is Dulcinera. She's an Italian singer-songwriter and actress. 49 today. Finns will be up in arms. It's Tony Kakko's birthday. He's a Finnish power metal singer-songwriter and keyboard player with the group Sonata Arctica. Also 49 today is an American gospel, hip-hop, R&B singer-songwriter and record producer. He was born Anthony Charles William II, but he has 10 stage names, and I'm not going to go through them. 50 today is Laura Pausini, an Italian pop singer-songwriter. Also 50 is Sonny Sandoval, an American musician, rapper, singer, and songwriter with the band P.O.D. 53 today is Rachel Goswell. She's an English indie pop singer-songwriter and guitarist, and she started in the band Slow Dive, and they have morphed into Mojave 3. 56 is Andrew Nethsinga, a British organist, choral conductor, music director, and Ralph Trevant, or Tresvant. He's also known as Riz or Rizzo. He's an American singer with the band New Edition. 57 today is Kirmo Lintinen. He's a Finnish jazz and contemporary classical pianist, conductor, and composer. 58 today. Now, she has the middle names Damita Jo. She's an American singer, songwriter, actress, and dancer, but we know her by her forename and surname. She's Janet Jackson. 59 today is Krist Novoselic, American rock bassist, accordion player, and co-founder of Nirvana. 60 today is Boyd Tinsley, American violinist and mandolin player, formerly with the Dave Matthews Band and Crystal Garden. 66 and getting his bus pass is Glenn Gregory, British singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, co-founder and lead singer of Heaven 17. Remember them? 70 today, and she's finally been added to Ladies' Night. Hazel O'Connor, British singer-songwriter and actress. Iain has already done a retro ranking, but we forgot to do her album ranking. So she has actually got sufficient albums to do a marathon. So we're going to have another Marathon Ladies' Day at some stage. 71 today is Richard Page, American singer and bassist with Mr. Mister. 73 is Jonathan Richman, American rock singer-songwriter with Modern Lovers. 74 is Jock Bartley, American singer-songwriter and guitarist. And we've got two people who are 78 today. Robert Fripp, Zeb's already told us, British prog rock guitarist, composer. He's been in King Crimson, Frippinino and Bowie. He's record producer. And he's also known as Mr. Toyah Willcox, and we'll hear more about that in a bit. But like I said, 78, also Roger Earl, British drummer, and he's a founder of Foghat. Guess where he was born? I'll wait until the end of what's on next week to see if anybody can tell me where Roger Earl was born.
Yes, answers in the comments below.
Yes, geez. 79 today is Nicky Chin. He's a British American pop songwriter and producer, famously with Mike Chapman.
Oh, the hits they were.
Yeah. Oh, massive hit factory they were. And granddad today is 80-year-old Billy Cobham, Panamanian American jazz drummer, famously played with Miles Davis and the Mahavishnu Orchestra, who were on your laundry list.
Yes, they've been listened to, and then will come up at some stage.
Yeah. Notable marriages, the matches. We've got 4 today. In 1981, Martin Chambers of the Pretenders married Tracy Atkinson. And he has kept his family private life very private. There's very little information. As far as I know, they're still married. 1986, and here we go. King Crimson founder and guitarist Robert Fripp married a British actress and rock singer. And this is the giggle. His Wikipedia page shows him, he is also known as Mr. Toyah Willcox. 1987, American singer David Crosby married Jan Dance, and they remained married until, very sadly, he passed away last year. And in 2006, Korn bassist Fieldy married his third and, as far as we know, his current wife, Dina Bieber. So there's your hatches, matches, and dispatches. And I'm just.
And here he comes.
He's
just
got...
drank this. Yeah, he has. He's just. Rocky's just drank the sea dry, I think. So we'll need that filling up. So yeah, he's moving about. He's toddling about. He's been out for a wee. We're all right, aren't we, mate? That's it. Go and get comfy.
Evening or afternoon B. Who else? Yeah, Zeb's got that right.
So, do you want to announce?
Dogs. Hang on, I'm just looking here, reading, catching up. Dog Star. Right, I've got to make a note of Dog Star Poets. Got to go and look them up.
So while you're doing
that's another one
that,
from Zeb.
I will. Are you ready?
Beastman, that. Also, Dog Star Poets up. Must be the uglies. Oh, maybe it's time for us to do another stinker covers.
Yeah, maybe. I think we should do it at some stage. So, do you want to do the result first?
The result for last week. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
who's in the final?
Unfortunately, he made it over the chair. He made it over the water jump. He made it over Beecher's Brook twice. But coming round Tottenham Corner, he tripped and fell. Talk are out. The Who have gone through by the massive vote of 14-8.
So congratulations, Mick. You are a finalist.
Well done, sir.
So it will be America versus the UK in the final.
Yes.
I think this will be whoever gets through this week's. It's going to be a great final because we've got the Americans will be voting for America. The English will vote for the UK, and we should have a really good final. That is so well done. Congratulations, Charles.
And
You've had
believe it
a
or not,
damn good run.
it's even Stevens in this week's.
Oh,
It's 4-4 at the moment.
anyway, let's
So
Let's
that's
put
that. Let me clear this out of the way so I can see what I do.
So I'm going to add that.
Oh, I forgot to mention tonight's talking point for the guests who are coming up are debut albums.
Debut.
Any year you like.
Debut. Someone once said to me.
Yeah.
What's a debut album?
Yeah, that's all right. I remember somebody at work once saying he was trying to do the Sun crossword, the easy one. And he said, "What's an iwi?" I said, "What?" He says, "What's an iwi? How do you spell it? EWE."
Oh, brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to let's make ourselves big and we can...
don't say the change to that, right? That's there. We say deeper to no version. Okay, that's big.
So
there you go, youngster.
So what we got next week? So we'll have a look, shall we? So on Monday, remember a little while back we did John Martin, and I wanted to make special note of John and Beverly Martin because their albums are a little bit different. So that's what we're doing. They only made 2 albums, but they're very good albums. Perfect Side. Now this one came from Mick. And boy, has this been a tough one. Mick, you really do set me some toughies. We're going to have a little bit of Grand Funk Railroad and the brilliant Grand Funk album, which is just top drawer, tough decision. I haven't made it yet, and I've got Monday. I've got to have it all done by Monday. I think I need to listen to it a couple of more times over the weekend. So let's move on to Tuesday. Got a great American prog band called Happy the Man. So we've got a bit of a prog with Happy the Man. And then we've got a very, very special retro ranking, as you can see. It's a tribute to Richard Tandy. Now, what I've done, I've picked some tracks that Richard Tandy sort of shone on for various reasons. Some of them are not. Are you sure that's Richard Tandy? But if you listen carefully, you listen to the Mandy Henry, you can hear him. So I'm doing a tribute to a man that I had the privilege of watching him at work, and he was a fantastic pianist, full stop. So that takes us to Wednesday. And we've reached the final part of Tangerine Dream. It's been a fantastic story. Now, apart from all their mega albums and live albums and God knows what else, they managed to put out a huge amount of soundtracks, 26, 27. But I'm not going to do them track by track. I'm just going to talk about the things, and I'll only go through my top 10 in more detail because we'll be there till Christmas. So that's what we're doing. I've really enjoyed doing this. I mean, I'm a huge fan anyway, but it's always good to talk about a band that doesn't get enough love. So that takes us round to Thursday. And as you can see, we've got in the camera's view, and this is a great show. One of the most iconic shows at the Budokan, Cheap Trick. I've had a lot of fun watching that this week again. Especially
takes you
Rick,
back, doesn't it?
Especially with Rick and his cap and his plectrums flying everywhere. You'll find out if you know that. So, and also Dave and I, and if any of the usual guests are about on, talk about the review of the semi-final. So there'll be all that will, and on that we will be announcing the second finalist.
Yes.
Yes. So there'll be big drum rolls and all that sort of good stuff. So that'll take us round nicely to Friday, and it's a busy old day on the Friday. And it's amazing that we've got Foghat live on the day that we're celebrating 78 wonderful years of Mr. Earl beating those drums. So we're going to look at the Foghat albums. And I've got a couple of new albums, and this is a great one to have. It's Little Feat, their first album in God knows how many years, and they've gone bluesy. It's a bit of a covers album, but it's really good what I've heard of it, and it's called Sam's Place. And also doing some blues away from his day job is Slash from Guns N' Roses and a few of his friends in an album called Orgy of the Damned. There's always love for Colosseum, Dave. So, what's happening on Saturday? You'll love this one. As you know, we're doing some more glam. And Richard told me who he wanted us to look like on the thumbnail. So there we go. Richard wanted to be Mark Boland, and he said, I thought you'd look good as Roy Wood from Wizard. And mine looks a bit odd because I couldn't get the eyes and that added, but that's what we're doing. The deep cut glam songs, the stuff off the albums that you wouldn't know unless you're as mad as me and Richard on glam. So we're doing a top 20 again at Richard's request. And I won't mind because, as you know, I love my glam rock. So that is what we are doing. So let's remove that. And it's not dark enough to put the light on yet. When it gets start getting dark, someone shout at me. And I'll put some lights on the soon. So let's get that. I think. The next job, apart from getting people up here to come and talk, is we need to do some business of what top 10s I'll be doing during June. And if you haven't watched today's, we keep getting a lot of set 50s at the moment. So it's been decided that if a 50s come out this week, we're going to spin again for a different decade.
I'm just looking here to see
Good evening,
if I
Jimmy.
can find.
Yes,
Right.
two glam junkies. I am addicted to glam. What's what?
I was looking there to see Colosseum 2. So that's right. Yeah, we've already done Colosseum 2.
We've done the lot. We haven't done none live yet, so that may come up. You never know. Any excuse to do prog, you know me. So I've got my pen and paper ready, and I'm going to write this down because
I need to go and say share the screen, and I want to share that one to make sure I don't do it wrong. There we go. Hello.
Hello. Right, I'm gonna remove mine because I don't need that anymore. So here we go. Here's the year spin. So anything landing in the 50s,
we will spin again.
We're going to spin again. So here we go. This is for the 13th of June.
And because it was doing my ears in earlier, I took the sound off.
Oh yes, we'll go with that one. 13th of June, 1986. A good year for the Roses. So here we go for the 27th of June. Be in the middle of summer then. No, I'm not. Move on. We're not doing 1959. This is another 50s. I'm going to go mad.
Oh, 77.
That's a good year. So that's much better.
Right. Okay. So I can close that. Exit full screen.
There we go.
Stop sharing.
So, and we've got a lot of birthdays coming up in the next few weeks.
We have, and a bunch of additions. Thank you, Hugh.
Yes, but we are. We can do it because we have the technology.
Yes, Bob.
Yes, we have the technology. We can rebuild building.
Still on the fence to order the 6 CD box Coliseum. Oh my god. It should be all right, Zeb, I would say.
Well,
he says he's still on the fence to order the 6 CD box Coliseum transmissions live at the BBC. It's not too expensive, but I'm worried about sound quality. I would think out of the BBC, it should be fine.
Yeah, and most BBC stuff is pretty good. I mean, I rate when I do my live rankings. The BBC packages are really good. I've got quite a few of them dotted about on my pod, and they are great. I mean, the Status Quo one's great. The Thin Lizzy one's great. Even the Dire Straits and ELO are great. So there's the there's the link for those that like to come up. And okay, we're
copy that. And
lovely weather. It's not down here, mate. Been big and awful. Right, everyone's dressed.
And
so I've put the thing up, and we're going to talk about the if Nick comes up. I don't know if he's coming up tonight, but we went to see the Soap Girls last Friday night, and they had a little local band on as well. They were pretty good, and Nick and I had a fabulous night out. It's a good gig, and I would go and see them again. We actually met them as well. We had our pictures, had some selfies done, and told them about that. I told them about that. I'm going to rank their album soon, and they were quite delighted. And I got a hug off for one of them.
Oh!
Yeah.
Did Nick get a hug?
No.
Oh, good. Then nothing to report to Mrs. Nick.
No, there's no Mrs. Nick. It's just his daughter.
Yeah. That's Mrs. Nick.
So that was a great day. I enjoyed myself. My ears weren't very good on Saturday night. How I got through with Richard, I don't know. So yeah. Do you know it's actually the brightest it's been today out there, and it's now 8:30 at night. How British is that?
Not too bad. Oh, did you get to see the Northern Lights?
No, because we was in the gig.
Ah, what a pity. Ah.
No, I didn't see the Northern Lights.
Well, for your edification, I will forward you some pictures that were taken up in Castlewellan at Mary's. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. I didn't see it either because I was having an early night. I was absolutely shattered.
When I said no one
like,
yes,
I can bloody hear you.
Yeah, when I spoke, people put no one actually used Renaissance Northern Lights music when they were putting up their pictures. That'd have been perfect. I think I covered the Hawk Lords, Zeb. When I did
there's the 2008 version.
Okay, that yes,
they were added not last week, the week before. That's the second time I've asking Zeb. What doesn't push them up the list?
Have you noticed something? No one wants to come up and do the graveyard shift.
No, that's all down to a certain gentleman calling it the graveyard shift.
Yes.
For me at work, the graveyard shift was the night shift. It was the last shift.
The graveyard shift when I worked on the station was from 11 o'clock at night to midnight.
Yeah, the last shift of the night. It's not the first one.
Yeah, it's
the first one was the dawn shift.
God, I don't know what it'd be like now, but when I was doing that shift, after 11 o'clock at night until there was 3 trains to dispatch. So
Nice
most of the time you were sitting around. Well, when you were visiting and you come and pick me up, it's so quiet and boring.
Yeah. Sit, put your feet up, have your portable CD player and watch a movie.
And that's what most of us done for that. And while that, unless there was something going on. So,
Dog Star Poets is a one-off album.
Is it? Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, but it was done while Jade Warrior was still going.
Oh.
As far as I can make out. I've grabbed nothing to show tonight, so I'll just have you on chat.
I'll be great. So I'll just heckle. You can come up anyway and heckle. You don't have to show anything, Jimmy. Just come up and heckle. It's not a thing. If you come up, you've got to show something. So if you want to come up, Jimmy, come up.
It's a Jade Warrior spin-off. Right, I thought it was reading the bump that I could find. I got the impression that they were.
Talking of a Pulsar, the Tangerine Dream Live thing. I will be taking you up on that. I really will, because I was actually watching one of their concerts on YouTube the other night. Oh, good man, Jimmy. Yeah, it was one of the modern ones because it's got the wonderful Hashiko Yamane. I think she's a lovely all round, great violin player, and just lovely to look at. Miss Yamane, fantastic piece.
Got to find this.
Yes, Pulsar, you will be thing. Oh, and also you've got a birthday coming up. Last year we couldn't find, so we did Europe, UK. Well, the person to actually thank for this is not me, it's Dave. He has actually found the sheet music. Was it the sheet music for the week that you was born, Pulsar? So this year you're actually getting the top 10 sheet music.
Have you still got that link?
Oh yeah.
Good, because yes. I've forgotten where it went.
Yeah, I've got it. I've saved it, and I've now put it in the thing. So, and I've looked up, and it does. We can do more. So, anyone that thinks so, even if we get a wheel spin, if we get a wheel spin for American chart, I can do it now. So yeah, so Pulsar will get his proper birthday one this year.
Oh right, so we're doing a US. That's right. Yes, because we had to do it
because we couldn't find. But you went diving deep, and we found it for you this year.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything for you guys? You support us, so when we try and do things for you. So.
Oh, come on, Zeb. Senior moment. I'm the one who has the senior moment.
No, just put the link
as you will find out next month.
Yes, it's Dave's birthday next month. How's the people next month? We have got someone who's a chart, and she watches this. I can't find an Israeli top 20. It didn't exist. We've looked everywhere. Both I and Dave have scoured the internet. So unfortunately, Naomi will have to have a UK one.
Yeah, and even though she has relocated, where she's relocated to, we can't find the chart.
So
It didn't exist. That was
it's crazy. Even so, yeah, that's I think. So, I think. Am I still light enough, or do you think I should put the light on now?
Bear with me a moment. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 6, 8. Yeah, we've got 8 birthdays next month.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 on the same day 3 times.
Yeah, we've got 2 of our. We've got talking of someone. He's got a birthday coming up soon. Good evening, Jimmy.
Hi, lads. Sorry, I'm not participating fully tonight. I'm tiring week.
And you're still not finished. You've got a sodcast to do on.
Exactly. Yeah. So I could do with a bit of an easy going night tonight, really.
Yeah. Well, you can have a. You can just be there.
Just looking gorgeous. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. not that you don't, of course, Ian. Every week.
So yeah, you're. Well, I think we're both part of each other's sort of. We're parts of the furniture now, isn't it? So it's good that we all work together.
Yeah. Yeah, if you'll allow me to do a little promo later on for Sunday, then I'd appreciate it. But other than that, I'll just sit and occasionally heckle.
I like it. There's nothing wrong with a good old heckle.
He'll be the man at the bar in the wheel tappers and shunters.
Yes. It's rather rude. It was rather rude for Jason to go out for a meal tonight. He knows what we do on this day, don't we?
Evening, Mike.
Good evening,
Hello.
Mike.
How you doing?
You're very brave to wear your rhinos. Or is that for the ladies who seem to be doing better, mate?
Well, yeah. They've been doing better than the Bollocks team for about 5 years now. I've just about given up on them. It's.
Jimmy, you might want to look at the screen.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Good evening, Richard.
Hello, Richard.
Anyway, Mike, as you can see, the next Richard and Iain show is going to be hosted by Mark Bolan and Roy Wood.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, won't it?
Yeah. That's all Richard said. I want to be Mark Bolan and you should be Roy Wood. So I had a crack at it on Sunday and it was just finding the right pictures to lift. See, if I couldn't have lifted Roy, I had got one in as a reserve, and that was Brian Ferry from Roxy Mute in the days he used to have the eye patch.
Oh yeah.
So I've got that lined up.
Yeah, you need to look at whenever it comes up. You need to look at Ian's makeup very carefully.
Yeah. I think as Bowie, I think Richard would be better with the Aladdin Sane makeup.
He did. I did the last time. That's what I did when we did our anniversary show.
Yeah,
it was Dave Hill and
I was Dave Hill, but I couldn't get my chin wrapped in the right place. I just couldn't get the eyes in the right place.
All right.
Yeah. So what one eye is sort of it's almost as though he's got a patch, a white patch over one eye under the makeup.
Yeah.
Right, it's getting dark here. I can't see what I'm doing, so I'm going to just go off camera.
So is this your deep dive into glam then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. Can you still hear me? I'm just going to put the lights on. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Which I found quite easy, actually, because...
You see, I can do something like, Alexa, turn on the bedroom light.
No. Did that last week.
I never thought about that, Dave. Yeah, we could call happen, couldn't we?
Alexa, turn on the bedroom light.
This is listening.
Right, that's that. Let's come back on screen. Oh, that's a bit bright.
Oh, that was good fun, triggering everybody's devices.
Yeah.
Thing is, I've got 3 in my place.
Yeah.
I've got one where I am, and she's on Do Not Disturb. But then I've got the one in the front room and the one up in the bedroom, and they're all coming back at me.
See,
I can't control the bedroom lights.
When we say Do Not Disturb, I leave mine's right next to the speaker. So when Dave says that, he doesn't just switch his on to Do Not Disturb. Mine goes as well. But it's remembering to put it back.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Anyway,
I'll take the graveyard shift. Because Jimmy's got nothing. I'm going to take the graveyard shift tonight.
Well, you took it last week as well.
Yeah. But I'll take it again, get the ball rolling. So it's debut albums, one of my favourite subjects. So I thought I'd just go and find some bit different, hopefully that no one else will show.
Okay.
So my first one comes from 1971.
There you go.
And it's the album ZZ Top's first album. Not very imaginative on the title, but it has got some great tracks on this one. Brown Sugar's great, Squank's good, Going Down to Mexico, Certified Blues, absolutely brilliant. And that's what they looked like in 1971.
Oh my God.
I know. I mean, look at Frank Beard. He looks about 10.
He does, doesn't he?
Dusty Hill just doesn't look like Dustin. Billy looks like
I would not have pegged them for ZZ Top at all. If you'd shown me that picture without saying who we were, I'd be like, not a clue. That would be my last guess.
He looks like a Midwest preacher, doesn't he, Billy Gibbons?
Yeah.
Good album, though. I do like that. Also, A Wonderful Whitesnake. October 1978 brought out their debut album, Trouble. I mean, we'll have a look what they looked like in 1978. See, David Coverdale, and then you got Mickey Moody next to him, then John Lord, Bernie Marsden, and Neil Murray. But does anyone know who the drummer is on this album?
No idea.
His name's David Dowell. He's 1-0. He did the first 2 albums, and then Mr. Pace took over. But that is a great album. It's got Lie Down on it, a great version of the Beatles' Day Tripper. Trouble's brilliant. Don't Mess With Me, and Take Me With You, which they still play they played up until I finished retouring. So yeah, good album. My next one comes from 83, and I remember buying this when it came out. Mr. Ronnie James Smallperson and the great Holy Diver. Any album that starts off with Stand Up and Shout and blows your head off is great. And the great Holy Diver's on here. And we've also got Rainbow in the Dark. Fabulous album. Absolutely fabulous. Changing tempo now. Any excuse to show some art and noise.
Yeah.
Anne Dudley, Trevor Horn, JJ Jawalski, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Wonderful tracks like Beatbox, Close to the Edge. Moments in Love goes on too long, but it's lovely. Absolutely great album. Brought that when it came out as well. Now, everyone will think, oh, you're going to show Bat Out of Hell, Meatloaf debut album. Oh, no. I'm going to show Jim Steinman's debut album, Bad for Good. Came out in 1981. There's songs on here you might recognise. Things like Out of the Frying Pan into the Fire.
Yeah, Mother used to say that.
Yes, which was on, eventually went on Bat Out of Hell 2. Surf's Up on here as well. Bad for Good. And there we have the man himself.
Right.
Yes, when I saw him, I never thought how small he was. He could have fit inside the bass drum. He's that small. So that's Mr. Jim Steinman. Also, 1984, Roger Waters, The Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking, which features Eric Clapton.
Mm.
Plays on.
Yes,
I do believe Andy Bell may be on here, or am I thinking of another album?
I very nearly picked that album up purely for the cover.
Yeah. Andy Newark plays drums on here as well. Absolutely brilliant album. It's not near enough like a story. I do love that album. Of course, I'm going to show this.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. The English Todd Rundgren.
Yeah.
Can I quote someone from the shorts? Boring.
Yeah, someone thought they were boring. They're not boring. This, of course, has got Script for a Justice Tear on it. Forgotten Sons, He Knows You Know. Fab album. Again, brought this when it came out. This one we might all cheer about, though.
Yay.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Sugar Bells.
Yeah, the first release on Virgin Records, wasn't it?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I had that conversation with Mr. Branson. Everyone was talking about trains, and I wanted to talk about Tubular Bells. So we spent a little bit long talking. Someone said, "Why did you talk with him long time?" I said, "Because I was talking music." Wonderful album, featuring, of course, not on this, but on they've got Mr. Vivian Stanshall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Gary Moore, Back on the Streets. Can't believe how old this is. Scares me. 1978. It's got the slower version of Don't Believe a Word, the classic Lizzie song on it. Back on the Streets, Hurricane, and of course, Parisian Walkways is on this album. Great album to start off with. How's about a little bit of Peter Gabriel debut album, 1977.
Yeah.
Great tracks on here. Salisbury Hill's on here, of course. And in the humdrum. Waiting for the big one. Here Comes the Flood. One of my favourite tracks off this album.
Yeah, I love that album.
It is
really good.
One of the best albums he ever made.
Yeah. I've been listening to his last Genesis album quite a bit this week.
Have you? Yes, I wonder why.
Yes, I wonder why, yeah.
And my last one is something that I picked up in Leeds. And I was told by a lot of people that day in the pub, the album of the day. And when you get some notable people in the VC saying it, you know you've did well. Mike knows what it is, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, I know. I was in the pub.
Yes. Yeah. This is their debut album from 1962. If you don't know who the Spotniks are, they're like the Swedish version of the Shadows or the American version of the Ventures. On the Royale record label, it's got their version of the Orange Blossom Special on here, which is brilliant. It's got the High Flying Scotsman, which is actually adapted from Gary Owen, which was the sort of theme tune to the 7th Cavalry, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Rocket Man's on here. Ambola. It's just a great album. My dad had this, and we used to play it a lot. And Mike knows what I was like when I saw this. I got rather excited.
Yes, I was standing right behind you when you bought that, wasn't I?
Yeah, and you know what? Since then, I've played this at least once a week. How sad's that?
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
I just love that. So there you go. That's my debut debut albums. I call that to someone I said, what are debut albums? And it's just debut albums. It's hilarious. So there we go. That's me done.
Well, I had a quick look.
Yeah,
And
well done, mate.
the Spotnik's discography, they say 43 albums, but apparently
Wow.
that includes EPs and lives. But it might be worth adding them to the laundry list.
Yes. There we are. It'll show that. That's the famous label.
Oh, yeah, make it bigger. Yeah, that's
And
lovely.
I was at a wedding and I met one of the first CEOs of this company. And what I like about the cover, it tells you how to handle LPs. So yeah, I mean, he was actually around when they were recording this. So me and my dad were quite fascinated, you know.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Paul Sal. I know there's some good picks. There's a lot of debut albums I don't want to show because they could come up in another. There's another one on the wheel that I wouldn't. And I thought, no, I have to be careful here. I don't want to show things twice.
Yeah,
So
there is that. There, I didn't think about that. Yeah, but
yeah. So there's one or two that I have left off. Which one show? Oh, see, someone else has heard of them. Excellent.
I'm just having a look because they also go under the name of the Rockin' Cowhands and the Young Cats.
great band names. Hey,
Yes.
the man himself.
Ah!
Did you recover, Nick, from Friday night?
Oh, it's bloody good, weren't it?
We had a fabulous night, Mike, and we both said you would have enjoyed it.
I bet I would have done. Yeah.
Yeah, the support band were even good, weren't they, Nick?
Yeah, they were all right, actually.
Yeah, we thought they sounded a little bit Green Day, early Green Day, didn't we?
Right, so a bit pop punky, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all right, weren't they? Great
Yeah.
venue as well. And
Yeah.
the main attraction was a bit of an eyeful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sally Geller, yeah.
Well, we had our pictures taken, and we was, you know,
Yeah.
chat with them. And
Yeah, so I bet they were pleased to meet you two, then, weren't they?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the fact that they get free promo through Iain, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was a great night. Yes, thank you very much. It was. Really enjoyed it.
Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm sure it won't be the one and only gig that Nick and I go to. We've really had a great night. The thing is, during the gig itself, we hardly spoke to each other because we wouldn't have even done. Yeah, and we did go on Simon, didn't we, Jimmy? But you couldn't hear. I couldn't hear what you were saying. You couldn't hear what else was saying. But it was just fun to do, wasn't it? Just go, hello.
It's good to see you. Yeah.
Except someone thought we was in a gay bar.
We'll talk about that backstage, shall we?
Yeah. But I can assure you, the Black's Prince is one of Northampton's premier punk venues.
Right.
It's a great venue, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So what is it? Back room of a pub, is it?
It's like a hall, isn't it? It's like, I suppose you'd liken it to a church hall, I suppose, wouldn't you, at the back?
Right.
Yes,
because I was saying to Nick,
wedding receptions.
yeah, when it was the race, it used to be called the racehorse. My nan and granddad had their 40th anniversary party in that room.
Yeah, it's like the function room.
All right.
Yeah, it's got a stage at one end, isn't it? And a small bar near it. It had, but you were better off, like I did, going back out into the main pub and
No,
Yeah,
give you a rest for 5 minutes.
yes.
Yeah.
The selection in the little bar wasn't as good as in the band because it was warm and I wanted cider and I like Rattler. And they don't serve it in. They serve the the bog standard stuff. So if I wanted Rattler, we had to go and get it from outside. But yeah, fabulous night.
Bloody hell,
You'll love this, Mike. Me and Nick did the usual thing. We missed the exit to the car park.
Oh,
That's right. Yeah.
so it was, dudes, where's my car? Was it?
Now, where's the exit? We hadn't even got into the pub.
Oh, right.
Couldn't get out. It was a bit like Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
We had a Spinal Tap moment.
Oh dear.
Exit. We'd gone all the way down to the bottom. It was a weird setup, weren't it? To be quite honest.
Yeah.
Then Nick had to remember his registration, which was. And then everyone else was doing the same, looking through their phones, looking for their registration.
It was a grand do.
And I got a cuddle from the guitarist.
Ooh.
Yeah, well.
Look like you're lost for words, Jimmy.
Well, I thought I'm going to be ranking their albums. I thought I'd be polite and say, "Is it okay if I rank your albums?" Like and how will you? And she even said, even the shitty first album, because the first album is a bit of a pop album, And I thought that's my sort of person. If they call their own first album shitty, they're proper people. And yes, one young lady did take a top off, but. After one song, no one was bothered. No one was taking a bit of notice because the music was that good.
Yeah.
They are making big.
Excellent. So you got out of the gig, did you?
Yeah, so I haven't played this one yet. I've got two altogether. The other one I've been listening to in the car, and that I must have played it about 4 or 5 times in the car.
Yeah.
This is a double CD. It's still wrapped up. I haven't played it yet. But yeah, they're bloody fantastic.
Excellent.
Really, really enjoyed them. Highly recommended. There was a chap on YouTube. I accidentally come across it today, doing shorts, and he did one on the Soap Girls.
All right.
But he was saying, people were saying to him, but they're only people only sort of pay attention to them and blah 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 because they get their kit off. But no, they're pretty damn good musicians. It's kind of hard to describe them. This sort of punky. I don't know. It's kind of a new age sort of punk metal kind of vibe to them as well.
Right.
As the gig went on, they sort of got a bit more heavier.
Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds like I would have really enjoyed it. Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, like I say, like Iain said, I can't remember if she was the bass player or guitar, whatever you want to call it, lead guitar, rhythm, or I don't bloody well know. But there's two of them, the two sisters, and it was the taller one who got a kit off.
Yeah, the lead guitarist.
Is it? I don't know. Oh yeah. But the other one must be the bass guitarist then. But yeah, she played for about 4, 5 numbers, didn't she? Something like that, if I remember right. With
And no one seemed to be bothered.
No, well, I said, once you've seen one pair, you've seen them all.
As she said, the reason, there is a reason behind it. The song's called Under the Skin, isn't it? And they were talking about that we're all the same. And as she said, we've all got nipples, except ours have got a bit more fat round them. And you think, you know, she's absolutely right.
Anyway,
Oh,
I'm just going to take my shirt off, chaps.
Yeah.
no, you're all right.
Yeah.
I'll spare you.
But she did. She was sort of, you know, encouraging people to, you know,
Yeah.
take your tops off and all that. But
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought,
I
well,
didn't either. We
no,
Yeah,
I didn't
true.
think people wanted to see,
middle-aged
Folds
men's
of-
bellies and
yeah, folds of flabby flesh bouncing up and down everywhere.
yeah.
But,
Some blokes didn't care they were doing it.
yeah, no,
But I
so
tell you what I did
fair
notice,
play to them.
there was a lot of women in there as well, wasn't there? It wasn't just
Yeah.
all men.
Yeah,
Which
all
proves that
sorts.
their music,
You know,
yeah,
there was older people,
younger people.
young punks, that sort of stuff there. But yeah, it was a grand night out. I really enjoyed it. I'd definitely go again. Definite.
Yeah. Anyway, I've got one more record to show.
Oh,
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
And it was given to, I had this from a lovely chap we all went to a gig with. It's a compilation album, and Nick, it plays brilliantly. I cleaned it all up, not a scratch on it. It's a great little compilation album of some great tracks. Thoroughly enjoyed this. I've played it a couple of times.
Good.
There's some good. I've seen some good names on that. That looks good.
Yeah, there's Rory Gallagher on here, Robin Trower's on here, Joe Cocker, The Animals, The Kinks, Ian Jury. It's even got an Ian Jury, Kilburn and the High Roads, Pam's Mood on it, which is brilliant. 10 Years After's on here, David Bowie's on here, The Move, 10 Years After, Dr. John, Gentle Giant, and Matchstick Men from Quo. It's a really good compilation album. So thank you very much, Nick. I've thoroughly enjoyed listening.
You're welcome. Like I say, I couldn't honestly recall if I ever played it or not. And if I did, I perhaps only ever played it once.
Yeah, it didn't take much cleaning, to be quite honest. When I took it out and had a look at it, it was in pretty good nick. So I think.
No, you're welcome.
Yeah, very nice. So you can make me small now.
Oh.
So, any of you gentlemen got any debut albums that you would like to share with the group?
Yep. I might as well be next. Yeah. Jimmy's opting out this week.
Yes. He's there to heckle us.
I think the reason is, Jimmy, that you could show one new order album and that'd be it, wouldn't it?
Pretty much. Yeah, all the debut albums I like, you know. I've shown you.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Black shirt and white shirt.
Yes, it's all two-tone tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, neutrals.
We are now, yeah. Yeah, and I've taken my Rido's top off.
He took it off in embarrassment, Michael. They're not doing very well.
Yeah, I know.
But full marks for putting it on in the first place.
I know.
Mr.
what are you
Host, can
saying,
take
Jimmy?
care of things for a minute or two?
It's pardon, sir.
Can you take care of things for a minute or two, Ian?
I certainly can. So
Right,
I'm gonna make Mike big now because he's going to show some debut albums, which I think is Michael's favourite subject as well.
It is.
Yeah. Good.
Over to you.
Right. Okay then, folks. So this is in two parts, two lots of five, and so you can guess what the theme of the first one is. Right. This is a band called The Toads, and it's in the wilderness, and it's lo-fi post-punk, and it's a debut album. It's also their only album. It came out last year, and these guys are Australian, and it's great stuff. Next up, a bit of lo-fi again. Lo-fi, I suppose this is really pop, and this is the Strophies and their debut called Whoosh. And guess what? These guys are from Australia. So there you go.
Australian band. Wow.
Yeah. Right. Not lo-fi, but Australian. Courtney Barnett.
Yeah. Australia.
Yeah, sometimes I sit and think, and sometimes I just sit, which I think is a great title for an album. And it's on her own label, Milk Records. And if you haven't heard Courtney Barnett, you really ought to. She's absolutely brilliant. She's a great lyricist, and saw her live about 3 years ago, and she was brilliant.
Yeah, she's coming up in her Ladies' Day in the near future.
Ah, excellent. Right. From Melbourne. Animal Sniffers. Great bit of punk.
Yeah.
Even though they're Australian, even from Melbourne, and Ben Rankins doesn't like them, but he's got a very personal reason for not liking them. But I won't go into that. But I think this is a brilliant album. I saw them live, and I've seen them live twice now, and they're absolutely brilliant. And yeah.
Haven't they been compared to X-Ray Specs?
They might have been, but they're nothing like them. They're a lot harder, sort of. Again, it's sort of it's quite hardcore, the music, but the lyrics are quite thoughtful. So mainly written by the singer Amy Taylor. So that's that, and the fifth Australian record. This is a reissue from a couple of years ago, expanded reissue of the Avalanches, Since I Left You. Bit hip hoppy, absolutely full of samples. With the original sort of iteration of this album, they got into a bit of trouble because the Naughty Boys didn't think of asking permission before using quite a few of the samples. So there you go. Yeah.
Kind of controversial.
Yeah. So that's that. So, right, next off is sort of the second half. These are albums, sort of bands that I really like. And start with the first one, and The Clash. And I mean, this is a brilliant album, eponymous debut album, and that's the album cover we're going to recreate one day, aren't we?
Yes, we are going to do it.
Yeah, when we get down to London. Yeah, so this is this is a great album. I think The Clash went off the tracks a little bit sort of later on, experimenting with this, that, and the other, and I think a lot of their albums became a sort of bit of a mishmash of, everything and nothing really. But this is a fantastic punk album.
Yeah, proper punk album, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. So, wouldn't be right for me not to show this.
Right.
DJ and Dry. Yeah. There you go. Nice picture of her.
She looks delightful there, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. Yeah. that's very polite. Oh, she looks delightful. Yeah, and another band. There you go. There it is. The Scream. White Cheese First. 1978 was it? Yeah, 1978. Great album, but I mean, I think the first three albums in particular are absolutely brilliant. So there you go. And another one of my favourites, Saint Etienne, a band that I didn't really get into.
Nice.
First of all, in the 90s, I wasn't really into this sort of this kind of electronic sort of disco sort of post-punk stuff, But over the years, I've really, really come to love this band, and I think they're absolutely brilliant. you know, I mean, there's a brilliant single off of this, you know, the Neil Young cover, "Only Love Can Break Your Heart," and it's better, in my opinion, than any version that Neil Young has done. So there you go, Fox-Based Elf by St. Etienne. And finally, and I've got a request here. All right, it's a Lovely Eggs. Shall they cover that? If You Were Fruit by the Lovely Eggs, 2009, and their 7th album comes out tomorrow. So I think it's about time we had a ranking.
Oh, is that yes?
Yeah.
The Lovely Eggs are ranking. Well, I don't know if Dave's back yet. Are you there?
Yeah, we'll put it on your list. So
I'll write it down now.
yeah, so that's my 10, folks. So there you go.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
That's some great albums there. Wonderful stuff. Obviously, Dave's
All
not back.
Yes,
So I'll
folks.
write that down while telling you. No, that'll be a good ranking. I think that'll be an excellent ranking.
Yeah.
And I shall listen to their new album tomorrow.
I went car boot last weekend,
Oh yeah.
and I saw the PJ Harvey album.
Oh yeah, which one?
I wrote it down because I wouldn't be able to bleed and remember it. Dry.
Yeah, that's what I've just shown. Dry. It's a debut. Yeah.
Yeah, but this was demos.
Oh, the Dry demos. Yeah, that came out about a year or two ago. Yeah, I'll get it.
But you didn't pull the trigger on it, did you, Nick? You didn't buy it.
Yeah. Looked like that, did it?
You brought it.
That's it. Yeah.
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 These demos albums are all really good. You know, there's no rubbish on them. They're really good alternate takes of the albums.
It just proves what a fantastic writer, performer she is, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. I had a feeling you might show a Clash album, but I had a funny feeling you might show another album by the Damned.
I was thinking of it, but
Yeah. Right, I'll be totally honest with you, Mike.
yeah,
I picked up that PJ Harvey album,
yeah,
brand new in the shrink,
yeah.
just in case you didn't have it.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm complete on PJ
Yeah.
Harvey.
I thought, how can I find out without letting on?
Well, you have now.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter, does it?
Anyway, it's a lovely thought, mate. It's a lovely thought, folks.
And I'm sure you'll enjoy the album yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's just worth having. It's worth having just to see delightful pictures of Polly.
Yeah.
Brand new in the shrink. Never been open, never been played.
Excellent.
Bit risque for Polly, showing all the.
Yeah, she could be in the Soap Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that picture is sort of off the back of the. Is it the same? Yeah, I think it's the same picture as the one on the back cover of the original. Yeah. Yeah, which is there you go.
Yeah, I'll tell you what she should do. You know that little improv concert she did on YouTube, the acoustic one?
Oh, yeah.
I think that should come out on album.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because it's stripped bare, isn't it? Polly stripped down bare. I mean, she's stripped down there, but that's that's probably why she put that picture on the thing, because they're stripped down versions. Yeah.
So you have dealers who who sell at car boot sales?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, before we go on, I did like your the video you did, Michael, with the record shop that looks like a wooden shack.
Los Opposite.
Ah.
Yes.
And when you
Yeah.
go in, it's like the TARDIS. It looks bigger on the inside.
It's a very special place. It is filled with artwork and sculpture and books and records. And yeah, I zeroed in on Merzbow because he had a section that was huge. I've never seen that many records represented by one shop. Plus, he had cassettes. I mean, I'm not a noise fan, but that's what I'm doing now. Is I'm just trying to find the odd sections of a store and showing them.
Yeah, it was quite conceit, wasn't it? Because you was expecting a little quaint little shoebox.
Yeah.
And when you went in on, bloody hell, wow.
Yeah, but it was all the other stuff in there as well. You know, all the ephemera. It was great. Actually, I got a question for you, Michael. When you go around these record shops, do you just go in there and film yourself disturbing their stock, or do you actually buy anything?
If I buy something, I'll show it. But I've just been disturbing the stock. I know I have some friends that like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you can walk out of a store like that empty-handed. But you know, I just focus on the cinematography.
All right.
The other thing is when I do these videos is I've never been in the shop before, so it's as I discover it. You know what I mean? Because there's just so many.
Yeah, I think that's a good concept you've come up with, Michael. Because you know we're all like that. We always, we've all experienced that when we've gone to what's going to be in here, and we go in and it's just wow. And you're giving us that experience as we're walking in. And that's what I like. I don't know how Mike feels the same. It's just like you're actually walking into that shop yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
So, yes, thumbs up from your panel.
Thank you.
Yep.
I can tell you there's a lot more in the queue.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Anyway, I bet you've got some debuts. You're itching to go.
I do. I think debuts are really important. And what I find interesting about debuts is that sometimes the band just completely changes track after the first record. And some people just are, they hold on to those debuts and they don't continue on with what the band does afterwards, or the band changes direction and they kind of discount the debut, or the debut is the only thing they ever produce because you like the Sex Pistols. So first record I want to show is, I've shown some of these before, is Little Feat. And I really kind of don't like, I mean, I respect the rest of their records after this one, but this is so different than anything else that they recorded afterwards. It's self-titled, and he's got a band member here, Roy Estrada, and he was with the Mothers of Invention, and he's currently in prison serving real hard time because he was a serial pedophile, and he might likely die in prison. And when he gets out, I doubt he can exist in regular society. But this is the OG copy. It comes with the lyric sheet, and I bought it when it first came out. It was played by the radio stations, and I fell in love with it. And one of the songs they've been covered by the group escapes me, but Brides of Jesus was covered by, it'll come to me when the rest of the presentation goes on. Okay, next up, Jethro Tull, their first record. This is a blues record. And he had Mick Abrahams, there's Mick, and they did not get along. The egos clashed. And this was Mick's first and last time with Jethro Tull. And
that's a great album. I love
it's
that.
It's a great album. And again, another example is the only I used to have the other Jethro Tull albums. I've lost them over the years, I sold them over the years, and I love this one. It's very special. It's the only Jethro Tull album I have. I know, blasphemy. Mick went on to form this group, Bloodwind Pig. And this is a very, very favorite record of mine. And it is a rip-roaring record from the first track, which is It's Only Love. And it's brass and it's blues. I mean, here's their horn player. I mean, you gotta love this guy. You know, this is the way he played, lean and mean, 2 instruments in one mouth. Sounds dirty. And great liner notes that Mick wrote. And if you ever see it, you would not be disappointed at all. Leon Russell, self-titled first record, A Song for You, Delta Lady, Hummingbird. Every track is great. And stripped down Leon Russell. And again, I mean, some of his other records, Carney and the ones later on, not my cup of tea. From Traffic, Dave Mason, Alone Together. And this is the first, I think this was a famous record because it had colored vinyl. And I find it interesting that they called it the tie-dyed record, right? And the colors got so muddy in this thing that it kind of just is like baby poop, you know? I mean, now the technology has gotten so sophisticated, you know, you can get colored writing, it's got text on it, you know, and bright colors. But, you know, it was kind of like, you know, I guess maybe the record companies were, you know, having a learning curve when they were producing colored vinyl. And this also opens up. It hangs, right? Dave Mason, and it's got a little hole.
That is cool.
A little hole up here, you know, for hanging it on your wall. Isn't that great?
That is just something else, isn't it?
Here's the other side.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Look at that. This is real OG here, right? Real die cut. Okay. Don't want to break it. Okay. Next up is some Americans, and their first record, Chicago Transit Authority. And I don't really like what they did afterwards. It got really poppy and bubblegum, but this is a roaring record. And
a bit bold to make a triple album as your debut, wasn't it?
It was a double record. Yeah, well, all of their records are double records, right? Chicago, that was their trademark. Every record was a double record. Which, you know, kind of ambitious. Maybe not a great decision. And also, they didn't name the records. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to I think they had like 17 records or something like that.
Yeah, I think it goes.
Their guitarist was Terry Kath, and evidently, Jimi Hendrix had a lot of respect for Terry Kath. I don't know much more about the story other than that. Buddy Miles, Them Changes. Look at this. Look at that drum kit. I mean, what a monster he was. He does a cover of the Allman Brothers' Dreams on this record that is better than the original. I mean, you play the two side by side. Oh, look at that. Better than the original. Okay. Got a thumbs down. you motherfucker. And you know that he went on to form Band of Gypsies with Jimi Hendrix, and I guess he would do scat singing during rehearsals, and Jimmy just hated that. There was a lot of friction. There was only one Band of Gypsies record, and but there was more Buddy Miles records. He unfortunately fell into drug abuse and poverty, and he had a terrible end of life, on and off the streets. Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh, that's a good album.
It is a great album. I don't hear anybody else saying so, but It is every track is fantastic. What Al Cooper did and what a lot of Americans bands did is that they had an overture at the beginning of the record where they included, it was like a wrap up of all the other songs. I mean, he has on this record, I Love You More Than You'll Ever Know, which was covered by Amy Winehouse and Donny Hathaway. And he does Without Her by Harry Nilsson, Just One Smile by Randy Newman. Great record. Isn't that kind of freaky what they did with the kids there? A lot of people don't like that. I know Bobby's, but that didn't like that. Al, great solo album. Look at that. Isn't that ballsy to make yourself
Statue of Liberty?
Statue of Liberty.
That is some kahunas, isn't it?
There is some kahunas, and there he is up at the top.
Yeah, brilliant.
I love this. He's eating the Statue of Liberty. I always think that's like a roasted lamb, like a leg, but it's not. It's Statue of Liberty, and he also covers Harry Nilsson on this record. He does One, and it's my favorite record by him. I play it all the time. And lastly, I know you've been waiting. This is the first record by Todd Rundgren entitled Runt, in which he is a runt. Look at a skinny little boy there. Back cover by Bob Zoll. And this is an OG copy. I'd like to show it off. It's on Ampex Records. And it's in mint condition, or near mint condition, because I played it. Now, one couple of points about this, and then I'll give it up to the rest of the panel. He worked with Hunt and Tony Sales, and they were the sons of the comedian Soupy Sales, who had a TV show when I was a kid. And Soupy was a comedian, Soupy, and he did a bit on his show where he said, "Kids, I'd like you to go to your mother's purses and send me $1." And he got into a lot of trouble with the FCC and the radio station and TV station, but it was a lot of fun. And also, Hunt and Tony went on, I said that, Tin Machine, right? They joined Tin Machine, David Bowie. And he does a tribute to Laura Nyro on here called Baby Let's Swing. And it's got We Gotta Get Your Woman. That's not the greatest song on this record, but Who's That Man and Believe in Me. And I'm sorry, Zeb, I'm not showing the Utopia stuff because they're crap. And that concludes my first edition debut records. They're old, but they're near and dear to me. Thank you very much, Vinyl Dale. Thank you.
Well, mate.
Yeah, I don't know if you realise, Michael, tomorrow Little Feat release a new album.
How do they do that? The guy's, Lowell George is dead.
Yeah, I don't know who's in the band, but there's a blues album.
Yeah.
That's coming out tomorrow. It's called Sam's Place.
Okay.
But I'm going to listen to it for you, and you can watch next week what I think.
Very good.
Then
Very good.
You can make your choice.
The things these artists will do.
Yes. Anyway, good evening, Simon.
Good evening.
Hello, Simon.
Has your cup arrived?
Not at the moment.
That's strange.
No.
I will get on to that.
Bloody typical Royal Mail.
Yeah, that's it.
It should have been with you. I'll look into that for you tomorrow, mate, and I'll report back if you're doing a live stream tomorrow on where your cup is.
Well, I work in the sorting office, so I know straight away as soon as it comes in that that it's there. So, but it's not arrived yet.
Should have gone UPS.
Yeah, anything like Royal Mail.
There's some Canadian debuts, some Darren. Some really good ones there.
Yeah.
And apparently, Dave says Little Feat have put out several albums since George died. There we go. Anyway,
Oh,
Simon,
that-
how are you
that
anyway?
goes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, good. Yeah, should be
Yeah,
do a stream again tomorrow. Go again.
go again.
Yep.
At least you'll be able to hear me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
thought we'd come on and just say hello.
I'm
As
glad
we
you
do.
popped on and said hello. You know.
Couldn't hear a bloody word, but yeah, you could give you
No.
the atmosphere of a gig, doesn't it?
Yeah. Sort of give a wave and a thumbs up, and that's good enough.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway,
yeah,
have
I'm
you
glad
got
you
any
enjoyed it.
debuts? Yeah, we had a great time. Have you got any debuts to show us tonight?
I've got 10 on CD, and they're all pretty well-known artists. So,
That's
I
all
have
right.
as well.
Right.
Well, okay, so do you want to
So
go next?
let Simon go next if you want.
all right, okay.
All right, mate. Is Mr. Producer there now? Yes.
Right. The late great Tom Petty's debut.
Oh, that's a great album. I listened to that yesterday, Simon.
Yeah, it is a very good album, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do particularly like his earlier stuff. I don't know what it is which draws me to this album, but it's that more kind of I don't know really, more rock, I suppose. Than
It's raw. That's what it is. It's raw.
Yeah, it's raw. It's rebellious. It's a bit more, you know, bit more about it. Anyway, moving on. Roxy Music debut.
That's a great album.
Yeah, these are all classic albums. Of course, the great Mike Bollocks.
That's ironic. You're showing the album you're going up against.
I know, but what a great album! You know, yeah. I'd have no grudges if this went on to knock the Beatles out of it, the tournament. But yeah, great album. I'm guessing this is their debut.
It is.
Yep. Beatles, Please Please Me, 1963, wasn't it?
Yeah, my dad's got an original of that.
Yeah. Great album. It's probably one of my favourites, actually. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
Their only decent album.
Jimmy's a big fan of this group, Weezer, the Blue Album.
Love it.
Their debut.
Yeah, it is a good album, that is.
Yeah, it is a great album. Say It Ain't So and Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
Sweater Song, all great tracks. This was a solid album when it came out. The Killers, Hot Fuzz. This is their debut. Then I've played this to death back in the day, in the early 2000s.
Still think it's one of their best albums.
Yeah, I do. Arctic Monkeys.
Oh yeah.
Whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not.
Yeah, that's a good album.
It's really good.
Probably one of the greatest debut albums of all time. Maybe Oasis.
Wow, yeah.
So yeah, great fan of this album. So yeah, that's it. That's my 10. All done.
That's excellent. Once again, wonderful.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Yeah. I mean that Arctic Monkeys debut, they just sounded so fresh and different, didn't they?
They did. Yeah. They
Yeah.
did.
I don't think you'd get away with that Arctic cover now, would you? Really? Probably have a trigger warning on it.
Yeah.
Apparently, you're winning 7-4, Simon, at the moment.
It's a long way up yet, isn't it?
Long way to go.
Long way to go. But that's good news, though.
Yeah. So, are you ready, Nick? Are you ready to?
Oh yeah.
Well, Mr. Producer, I think our man's ready.
What a build-up that was.
Of course.
There we go. Number 1, 1987, The Christians.
Forgot about
Yeah.
that.
First album,
Wow.
fantastic album. Soul, pop, funk in there as well. I think two of them were brothers. Featuring the hit singles Ideal World, Forgotten Town, Hooverville, When the Fingers Point, and Forgotten Town, two fantastic tunes.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that band.
Yeah. I don't really know how many albums they did. I know there was perhaps 3, possibly 4. I don't know.
I bet they're not even on the list. I think they should go on the list.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 as much as that.
Yeah, 7, and
And-
all 3 are brothers.
3 of them are brothers.
Oh, yeah, all 3 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
sure about that.
I thought
Yeah.
2 of them were brothers.
The name of the band refers to the surname of the 3 brothers that were originally in the lineup, and is also coincidentally guitarist Henry Priestman's middle name.
Well, there you go. You
Yeah.
learn something new every day, don't you?
You certainly do.
Ah,
Don't listen to me prattling on. Listen to Dave.
And I prattle worse.
But this is one of those albums I used to see a hell of a lot at the car boot sales, real cheap. And for some reason, I don't very rarely see it now. And if I do, it's £5 to £10 when it used to be about £1 or £2 at the most. But it's a cracking album, well worth getting.
I might have to listen to that again because I haven't heard it for a year. I bet I haven't heard it for about 20 years.
yeah, I'm the same, Ian. Yeah.
Picked this one up at Leeds.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Yes.
Cramps, Songs the Lord Taught Us. And I believe this chap here he's in between Lux and Ivy. Brian Gregory. I believe he had a bit of a rather big sort of drug problem. And I'm sure I read somewhere that he sold the band's van with all the equipment in it to buy drugs.
Oh, I bet he went down.
Leaving them high and dry. But Lux and Ivy, I think over the years forgave him. And yeah, but what a thing to do. But fantastic band, the Cramps. I was watching a documentary on them on YouTube the other week, and they didn't have some trouble with record label problems and band members leaving and trying to find new band members and all that. But yeah, fantastic band, the Cramps. Really, really love them. And where is it? There you go. Poor old Lux.
Yeah.
Of course, passed away a few years ago. And I wouldn't have a clue as to what Ivy's doing now. You very rarely hear or see anything of her. But there you go,
Sure.
the Cramps. The songs the Lord taught us. Bloke from Coventry.
Oh,
King, Love and Pride.
Yeah. If I'm honest, I only really picked it up for that single. And then about a week after buying this album, I found the single. But
yeah.
yeah, not a bad album. Not brilliant. I think they had a bit of a short-lived career. The only other song by them, well, they did Love and Pride, which you've already mentioned. I remember they did another song, I think it was called Won't You Hold My Hand? But that's about all I remember by them, to be honest. He was a bit of a swine because he used to get hold of airwear boots and spray paint them all different colours and that, which
It's a bit rude.
to me, yes, it's deplorable.
Yeah.
Should be taken to the local market square, put in stocks and rotten fruit thrown at him.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Ting. One of my favourite female singers, vocalists, Alison Moyet.
Yeah.
That's
Not
next one.
1984. This is on the CBS label. What a voice this woman's got!
She
What
still
a
has,
voice.
you know. She still
Yeah,
has.
still has. She can
Yeah.
do pop, electro sort of pop stuff, synth,
Jazz.
you know,
Jazz
jazz,
singing. She's great.
blues. She can sing the blues. I dare say she could sing heavy metal if she put her mind to it.
Is that the album with Invisible on?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
I think
great
the
track.
main one in here is Love Resurrection.
Yeah.
All Cried Out's on here as well.
Yeah, she's sort of one of my guilty pleasure artists. Alison
Yeah, yeah. Possibly, you know, sort of guilty pleasure in me, but a fantastic singer. What
She's
a
still
voice.
recording?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Yeah, I think she is.
Recording, touring. Yeah. Okay. I tried not to go with the bleeding obvious, which I could have done with a lot of bands.
What?
Right.
That is a great album. My friend's sister had that album, and
Yeah.
I loved it.
1981 on RAK.
Yeah.
Of course, famous for that song "Kids in America," which is on here. I think it made #2 here in Britain.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what it did in America, but I think she did have a #1 in America. I'm sure she did.
Yeah, I think it was
I think it was
You
that
Keep
song.
Me Hanging On, wasn't it?
Possibly You Keep Me Hanging On. Yeah. I'm sure I read she had a #1 in America with a cover version, so that must have been it. Checkered Love's on here as well.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, Kids in America, Water on Glass. I think that's another one of hers I remember.
Nice cover on there as well.
Yeah, it's a great album. She wasn't really taken seriously, was she? You know, I mean, everyone said, "Well, it's just a pretty face, and it's because of who her dad was," and but she's great singer.
Well, I'm sure I also read somewhere that Wilde isn't her real surname. I think it's Smith.
No. Yeah.
Who's the father?
Marty.
Marty.
Marty Wilde, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose she was a bit of a pretty face, but she weren't a bad singer. But I think she looks better now in her older age, to be honest.
Bert Gardner.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I think she's won awards at the Chelsea Flower Show and all that
Yes,
sort of
she has.
malarkey. But yeah, she can bloody come around and do my back garden.
Yeah. One of my favourite songs is Cambodia.
Yeah, I've got that single.
Yeah, I brought that in Leeds, Cambodia.
This was only £1 from a car boot sale a couple of years ago.
Great.
Yeah.
I'd let her butter my parsnips.
Indeed.
As I put it, she's quite delightful.
Yes.
Yay.
Oh,
Of
what
course.
an album. What an album.
This isn't an original. There's no way I'd be able to afford an original copy.
Yeah.
This is a reissue, but I ain't bothered. I couldn't care if it's a reissue, a first press, second. I couldn't give a monkey's knob if it's pressed by colourblind Mexicans on acid. I couldn't give a toss. I'm just happy to own the music.
As long as it plays well, eh? That's the only thing that really matters in the end, isn't it?
Exactly.
I always thought that picture looked like they've just come off Tiz Was.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Neat's on here. New Rose.
Oh,
Absolutely love New Rose.
Yeah.
Love the Damned. Fantastic band. Fantastic.
I've seen them.
Yeah, I've seen them as well.
Great.
But me and the daughter saw them at the Alley Pally. Brilliant.
I saw
Absolutely
them
love the Damned. This is a band you've probably never heard of.
You're right.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, I don't know it.
modern era sort of ska, two-tone type music, depth of guitar pop. I actually helped crowdfund this album, and the list of all the people who crowdfunded it are on the inside of the sleeve. It's a gatefold, and my name's in there.
You're
brilliant! That's brilliant.
My name's in there, and it's autographed as well on the inside. They're not a bad band. I think their sort of later albums, to me, are a bit sort of I don't know, jokey. This is quite sort of serious. All right, there's a bit of fun in it as well, but there's a mixture of covers on here and their own stuff. My favourite song in here
Don't read that.
is a track called "Sweet Sensation," which was done. UB40 did a cover of it, but it was originally done by the Melodians, if I remember right, back in the day. Brilliant song, great video to go with it as well as Skinhead Couple. Brilliant. Depth of guitar pop. Like I say, I helped crowdfund it, so I'm kind of proud of, but it's quite a common thing nowadays, I think, anyway. But yeah, my name's in there, indeed. Bit of mod revival. Secret Affair, Glory Boys.
Blimey. I've seen that album for years.
Yeah. I used to have a load of their stuff on vinyl, which, like a lot of my records over the years, went walkies. People borrow stuff, they never give it back, or you go to a party and it goes missing. I think my favourite track on here is actually the opening track, Glory Boys itself. Time for Action's on here, which is probably one of their most famous ones. Let Your Heart Dance on here is another kind of a well-known one for them. And where is it? That chap there, Seb Shelton, he later went on to drum with Dex's Midnight Runners during that Come On Eileen Tour IA period.
All right.
That Secret Affair, Glory Boys, great album. Another lady who's a bit of a favourite of mine, Toya, sheep farming in Barnet.
It's her wedding anniversary today.
Is it really?
Yeah.
She should have bloody married me.
Yeah. Instead, she married Mr. Toya Wilcox on his birthday.
Yeah, Mr. Robert Fripp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's 78 today.
Bastard. My favourite tune on here is a track called Neon Womb, which
That's one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably my second all-time Toya favourite tune, beaten by Brave New World. But this album got its name from when the band was travelling out of London, and they kind of passed a plot of land in between houses, and on it was some sheep and goats grazing. And somebody in the band piped up, "Oh, sheep farming in Barnet." That's how the album got its name.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? I'm looking for the EP version of that. I've got the EP version as well. Yeah. I had it years ago and it went walkabout, but I'd like to.
Yeah, well, it originally started off as just an EP, and then they upgraded it to like an album.
Right.
Yeah. That's one of those military installations. Listening.
Yeah, they're quite near me. About 20 miles, or 10, 15 miles north of Leeds.
Yeah. We've got with this one in Oxfordshire.
Yeah, it's Fylingdales.
The brief was to get on there on the site, take the pictures and get off quick before being found out. and they
Yeah.
were found out and chased off. But there you go, sheep farming in Barnet, Toyah.
She's got a bit of
Yeah.
white cake on her face, right? Her makeup is made to match the.
She's very well known during her pop career and that for the makeup and the painted faces and the flash sort of painted hair and all that sort of stuff. Picked this one up the other week on Rockabye Records. Their first album is Slade, I do believe. The previous one
Yep.
was Ambrose Slade.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that Ambrose Slade is really pricey.
Yeah. I've never seen one in the flesh. And
I've
like
got
you say,
I've got a bootleg of it. Yeah.
but yeah, this is. I'm so used to hearing the glam rock sort of era of Slade,
Right.
and the later sort of rock sort of stuff of theirs, slightly heavier. This is totally different. It's more of a classic rock type feel
Yeah.
to it, you know. But good listen.
Yeah.
Glad
Yeah.
I picked it up. I'll get all of their albums one day. You wait and see. Finally, this is a reissue. Judge Dredd, Dreadmania. It's all in the mind. Originally released in 1973 on the Trojan label.
Oh, brilliant.
This is a 217 reissue. It's got a lot of the classics on there. Big Six, Dr. Kitch, Oh She Is a Big Girl Now, Big Seven, Ding-a-Ling, Donkey Dick.
Lovely.
Yeah, the usual Judge Dredd fare. If you
Yeah.
know what I mean. If you know Judge Dredd,
Yes.
you'll know what I mean.
Yeah, I was at school when Big Six came out.
Oh
And
yeah.
It was a talk of the school. You know, everyone had to have a copy.
Yeah. The King of Rudeness. The King
Yeah.
of Rudeness.
King
The
of
most banned singer on the radio, etc. in British musical history, I think.
Yeah. He
I
is.
wonder why.
Absolutely. There's some great ones there, Nick. Thank you very
And
much.
that's it.
Yeah,
And
good
that's
stuff.
it.
That is wonderful stuff.
Yeah, lovely.
Well, you know, you was talking about Marty Wilde. Do you know he actually plays on a Status Quo single?
All right.
The single in question is Ice in the Sun. Now, if you know the song, it goes, I might melt ice in the sun, I'll run around. You get that. Boing! That's actually Marty Wilde in a piano, plucking the strings within the piano.
All right.
And Rick Parkman says he had fond memories of that because when he was playing that, all he could see was Marty Wilde's arse.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
And
Anyway,
on that
Michael.
bombshell.
Yeah. Michael.
Yes.
Show me that piece of art behind you.
This is.
Yeah. So tell me about it.
So this is Cliff Hengst, and it's just black ink on 4 pieces of paper, and it's a tribute to the Space Lady. And he worked in supermarkets in San Francisco for many years, and you know they that's how they showed the prices was big thick Sharpie marker on paper, and there was a style to markets back in the day. And actually, there was an artist in New York, David Wojnarowicz, who also zeroed in on those types of supermarket pricing displays. And Cliff had a show. There's a space in San Francisco called Right Window on Valencia Street, and really, it's a storefront. And I don't know how these people managed to hold on to the space, but they've had it for like 30 years. And in the store window, artists set up and they have a residency. And Cliff was in the window working up these these paintings on paper, and it's all text based. And he did it for around a week, and at the end of the show, he gave them out to all the guests at the closing of the show, and he gave me this, and I just had it framed, and it's just a really simple piece, and it's a tribute to the space lady who went to a lot of openings. I ran into her a lot. She was a figure in the Mission District of San Francisco. Would see her very often in the city. And,
right. So what were performances like then, Michael?
Completely deadpan. She would just set up on the street, no talking to anybody. I believe she always wore the same hat and the same outfit, and she would just start to play that Casio organ and perform with either a battery operated or single electric, very tiny amplifier, and perform. And she would do this at street fairs, like if there was in the Mission District of San Francisco, it's heavily populated with Mexican people, so there would be May Day and other events tied to the Mission District, and she would do that, and also in Civic Center by City Hall, she would set up and play, and also in I believe in Union Square. Where there's a big park, not so often in Union Square, but mostly the Mission. She never talked to anybody. I mean, people when at openings, artists would chat her up and talk to her because she was an artist and she was very comfortable in that amongst visual artists. But she basically kept to herself, and she was just a fixture in San Francisco. That's about all I can tell you.
Yeah. I mean, her version of Ballroom Blitz is absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I can, you can sort of hear it through the music that it is very deadpan. She's not doing a parody. She's just doing her thing. Yeah.
It's kind of like what was that, Andy? It's kind of like Andy Kaufman, that American comedian where they just break into pure deadpan, and that's the act, that's the performance. I didn't even know she recorded anything.
Yeah, it was just the one CD, and it's just come out for the first time on vinyl.
Are they studio taped? Are they studio recordings, or is it out in the street?
They're studio recordings, so that they're recorded especially for for the album.
I'll look it up. I'll ask some people if they knew her, if you're curious.
Yeah.
I guess she passed away.
I'm not sure she has actually. I think she's still she's still alive, I think.
Huh.
Yeah. But yeah, she just looks so sort of eccentric and
very
definitely, I thought this is definitely worth a listen.
Well, that's definitely San Francisco. I mean, people could look really, really outrageous, go into public spots, and nobody would bother them.
Yeah. I just get the album so people can see what it's like.
Okay. So everybody can know what we're talking about. They're like, what are they talking about?
This is becoming a regular feature, isn't it? Your artwork.
Well, I'm unpacking stuff. Yeah, I brought a lot of stuff with me.
That's all right. I mean, there's a bit of culture to the show.
Yeah.
I just call it a show,
and it's gifts, and a lot of it is just gifts because you go to. I really like being among artists, and I would go to a lot of openings, and artists would come up to me and say, "Michael, thank you for your support," and I'm like, "But I'm just here. They're like, that's what support is." Showing up, and
the only artists I sort of support are the ones in the pub called pit artists.
Yeah. So
this is what you said. We'll make you big.
Yes. See that hat? Look at that metal hat.
That is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. So the ball on top of it is a ping pong ball that's painted red, and it's got a little light bulb in it.
Oh, fantastic!
And there she is performing on the streets, and there's a piece of artwork in here. She did a self-portrait. And there you
look at
go.
that.
There you go.
That's
So
not a bad drawing, is it?
No, not at all. She probably went to art school.
yeah, so that's that's the space lady. Yeah.
Is there a
Absolutely
name
brilliant.
for her? Do they identify her by name, by her family name, or is it just the space lady?
On the cover it just says space lady, but there's all the blurb here, and it tells you about her. She wrote it herself, but she signs off as the space lady.
She's actually Susan Dietrich,
That's it.
born in Pueblo, Colorado in 1948.
Yeah, so there you go.
Roy, it's that pause, that quiet pause.
That's it. Yeah. What do we say now?
What are we saying now? Well, what we're saying next is we've got the new feature to come, haven't we?
Yes.
Rocky's Wheel of Fortune.
or in Rocky's case, his Wheel of Misfortune.
Yes. But I can't find it, so what have I done? Would help if I put it up on the screen, wouldn't it? Let's find the Wheel of Misfortune. There we go. We try again.
Okay.
If people are wondering what they're talking about, this is what we've talked about debut albums now. We're going to now find out what we're going to be showing and talking next week. There's panel members here will be on tender hooks.
Have you still got a list of stuff to add to the wheel?
Yes, your stuff's on the wheel. I've got it in front of me. So here we go. Rocky is spinning round. It's probably what his tummy's doing at the moment. Right, so let's click and spin and see what we're going to be talking about next week. So here we go.
Ooh, connection.
That's going to be interesting.
Yes, I think the person that actually suggested this one can
Takes the graveyard shift.
Yes. So the person that actually put this onto the wheel is sitting there, so he can explain what he wants us to do.
Right. So who's that one?
That's you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yes.
I mean, it's something that has been done. I've seen it on sort of vinyl community before, but it's quite a simple concept, but it can be quite tricky. So what you have to do is you show an album, any old album, and then you have to find a connection to the next album that you show. So, what's not allowed is to say this is an album by the same artist. That would be boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But, if there are sort of musicians that from one band into another band, producers, say recorded in the same studio, whatever. So it takes a little bit of research to sort of do it. And, see if you can make it to 10. And of course, a bonus point would be if you can complete the circle, and on your 10th album you can make a connection back to the first one. So that's what you have to do. Sorry, folks, it's a bit.
No, I think that's a rather good challenge.
Yes.
An idea is looming already.
What's that?
An idea is looming already. I've got something.
Good.
I've got the perfect one, and I think Dave knows which the band will start it off.
We'd be going round in circles, wouldn't we?
We'll be talking about the same thing, won't we?
Well, that's the thing. See where it takes you.
Yeah.
So we have to
Oh,
link it to like each individual. Like when we pass it on to someone else, they have to link it to
Oh
that.
God, that would be nearly impossible, wouldn't it?
Now let's go. Let's go
if
to
you
the
can make a
corner and
chain
Jimmy.
of 10, if you can make a chain of 10 albums linking from album 1 to album 2, it doesn't have to be the same person. You just have to link album or band all the way through. And if you can make a chain of 10, and as Mike says, if you can square the circle, that would be absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
I think that's a fabulous challenge, Mike.
Well, thank you, Dave. Yeah.
What do you think, Jimmy?
It's not my idea, but I've seen it done before, and in fact, I did do a thread before that was exactly that, and it can be frustrating because you get a nice sort of chain, say 3 or 4 albums, and then you get to the 4th one, and you just don't know where to go with it.
I can roughly think what I can show already.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, best of luck, folks.
Yeah,
and remember,
based bound one band, and I've got. It's something that I'm doing some research on anyway. So this is right up my alley. So you're all right for that one, Jimmy, as well. You can.
Oh, hopefully. I've
Yeah.
got a kernel of an idea. So
yeah, as I say, what you shouldn't do is just say, this is another album by the same band, because that's
right. A leap of faith plays big on
the record.
I think I remember James Griffiths doing this, but I think he managed to do more than 10.
I think when it was a thread, I think it was 20. And that's really big challenge, yeah.
I remember Telegram Sam doing something similar.
Yeah.
For a contest of hers. I think I managed 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grand idea.
Yeah. And you can weave anything, right? Band members, titles.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, I think, personally, I think sort of the more obscure the connection, the better, really.
Right.
A bit of lateral thinking, Mike.
Do they have to flow in an order, or can you bring in an album that connects back to a previous album?
Well, only when you get to 10, and if you can get back to the first one. But no, so each album leads to another one. So you show your first album, you see a connection, say it's a band member was in another band, and this is an album by that band, for instance. And then you have to find a connection to another album that you haven't shown. And you just form that chain. So it goes in a line, rather than
Yeah, if you can start with, say, it's not, there's nowhere near a connection, but start with a member of Led Zeppelin who then went on and played with Metallica, and someone from Metallica then went on and played with Little Feat, who then went on and played with another band. Just make a chain until you get to the 10th, and if you can get someone from the 10th who played in Led Zeppelin, you've squared the circle.
But there are all sorts of connections you can think of, like I said, could even be, the person who designed the album cover.
Absolutely.
All sorts of things.
Or had an affair with.
Yeah. The person who had an affair with George Harrison's wife. Or Eric Clapton's wife, I should say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It could be anything. And I think the more obscure, the better.
Yeah, I think I've got some good material here.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yes. This could be wicked.
See, I've got a juncture where I could go like that, and go like that, and go like that. So I've got two. I know band, I can go splintering into 2 that will come back to 1.
Well, yeah.
If you're starting, I think you're starting.
Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. as long as we have fun, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh yes, this is going to be good. This is definitely.
Anyway, it's time to do some, as I appear on other people's wonderful live streams. I think we should talk about what's coming up over the weekend. And
promo time.
Promo feature. So we'll go with Simon because he's up first. So you're all ready to go tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm all ready to go tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'll be talking about or what we'll be discussing, but we'll be doing something anyway from 8 o'clock onwards for about 2.5 hours probably. So tune in then.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Of course, yeah, Ian will be there, no doubt. Well, Jimmy probably pop in.
I'll try and be there, Simon, but I couldn't make it in the end last week, but I'll try.
Right, mate. No worries.
And then on Sunday, myself and Simon will be joining someone else's.
Oh,
That's right. Sodcast returns on Sunday. Ian, Jason, and I, we're doing another tier list, and we've got a special guest. You've just seen him a moment ago. Ian calls him Mr. 90s. So quite how old Ian thinks I am, I'm not sure, but it was my decade as well. We're tier ranking the 30 best-selling singles of the 1990s. And small disclaimer or trigger warning before Sunday, there is quite a lot of tripe in there. So, but hopefully it'll be interesting to see what we do rank high up. But I think there's going to be a lot of low-ranking singles to go through. But Simon's joining us as our special guest panelist for that on Sunday on my channel at 8 p.m. UK time.
Is this list compiled by Music Magazine from the Democratic Republic of Congo or something?
It's compiled by the world's most notoriously bad music fans, the Great British Public. I'm afraid, it's the 30. Yeah, can't trust those at all.
Well, I think, Jimmy, can you send me a link to it so I can have a peek? Because this is.
The 30 list. Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, because there's some of these I've probably never heard.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a look.
Homework. Oh, do you need it as well, Simon?
I wouldn't mind having a look. Yeah, that's all
okay.
right.
I'll send it to you both at the same time. Yeah, no problem.
Oh, heckle.
Yes.
You can heckle. That's just usually do. Anyway, it's come to that time of the night where we need to find a record to make a wonderful thumbnail. And I'm going to go with a bit of Roger Waters tonight. Oh, there we go.
And one of those, and one of those, and one of those, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you very much, everybody.
There we go. Anyway, once again, thank you very much for the wonderful panel.
I've just seen David's playlist of songs from albums that have beer-related album titles. For example, Steve Howe's Homebrew.
Hey, that'll be good.
You can add that to the wheel.
Yes, I'll have it to Rocky's wheel. And it's obviously Rocky's belly's all right because he's gobbing off.
What?
Rocky has not been. You missed all that, Michael. Rocky's not been very well today.
Oh,
he's had an upset stomach and had been a bit Tom Dick.
Oh,
it's his own fault though. He was nicking food off the floor that fell on the floor, and he decided to eat some pasta, which is not good for doggies.
No.
Yeah, no wonder he gets ill.
If it's on the floor, it's mine.
Yeah, this is the rules. What falls on the floor is mine.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if you're eating cheese, it's mine.
Yes. So, but he seems to be all right now because he's barking and things. So,
lovely.
So he's all good. Anyway, once again, thank you very much to Simon, Jimmy, Michael, Nick, and Mike, and all those the man with all the facts, figures, and everything.
And brain.
Dave.
Don't believe everything you see.
Yeah. And we will see you all next week, and you'll see myself and Simon and Jimmy all weekend, unfortunately. And Mike depends if he wants to drown his beer after seeing the Rhinos lose again.
Oh, I'm not playing this weekend.
Oh, you'll be a happy man.
No. Well, yeah, it's because it's the Cup semi-final, and they got knocked out of the Cup rounds ago. A couple of months ago. So,
weren't Leeds playing tonight in the playoffs?
They are the second leg against Norwich. That's the point. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's have a quick update on the scores before we go.
Leeds reached the playoff final.
Hey, what was the score?
Hey.
4-0.
Oh, 4-0, yeah, because they're a bit disappointed. They had a goal disallowed at Norwich last week, yeah.
So thank you very much. We will see you all next week. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.